Hello people, what's happening? Welcome to the Barstoolers Premier League podcast YouTube channel. Today is going to be the start of a series that we aim to do throughout the entire summer, and this is going to be entirely separate to the podcast. If you're watching this maybe for the first time and you're not aware of who we are, we do a Premier League podcast. But as the season has now come to a close, we're looking to expand and do more content, looking to expand the YouTube channel. So we're going to be doing lots of stuff on the YouTube channel throughout the summer, mainly being these transfer updates. And this is the very first one of those transfer updates, where essentially it's going to be a transfer roundup, only a few minutes, instead of having to look through Twitter or, trying different places to find out your transfer news. You just come to our channel. We'll be uploading a couple of videos a week. We're not going to do it every day because we're going to give some time to let it breathe. We don't want to be reporting just rubbish news from the Daily Mirror or whatever. This is going to be all reliable stuff, so we're going to be uploading a couple of videos a week, and you can get all your transfer news right here from the Barstoolers Premier League podcast YouTube channel. So looking forward to doing it, and let's get into it. So the first place we're going to start is with Chelsea. The Athletic put up a fantastic article this morning through Simon Johnson and Dominic Fifield. An extensive article, lots of news on Chelsea. The main news being that they want a striker. Tammy Abraham and Olivier Giroud are both likely to leave. Giroud in a free transfer. Abraham, they'll have to find a buyer for him. They of course want Erling Haaland, who doesn't, but that move is of course unlikely because of the finances involved, and also I think Dortmund want to keep him for another year. Now that they have Champions League football. Same with Kane. They want Harry Kane, but again that transfer would be very, very costly. So they're in a decent position to buy him, I suppose, but it would eat out of their transfer funds massively. Lukaku is identified as being more likely, especially after the exit of Antonio Conte from Inter Milan. So return to Stamford Bridge for Romelu Lukaku could be on a return to the Premier League. He's of course done fantastic with Inter Milan in Serie A, and he would be a great addition, and a lot more affordable than Kane and Haaland, that's for sure. They're also looking at Lautaro Martinez, his Inter Milan teammate, but it's probably viewed as fairly unlikely simply due to the fact that he's probably a little bit too similar to Timo Werner, and we all know how that's gone. But one massive link, both through the Athletic and according to Fabrizio Romano, is that there's a strong interest in Hakimi, another Inter Milan player. PSG are also very interested in signing the right wing back, the Moroccan, but massive fee touted by Romano. Apparently Inter Milan want anywhere up to 80 million euros for the right wing back, so they're also looking at Adama Traore as an alternative according to the Athletic, who would certainly be a lot more affordable, and in my opinion would be a good addition at Stamford Bridge. They also want a centre-back, and they've sent out Niklas Süle from, of course, Bayern Munich, although I'm not sure how likely that is. Exact same with Jose Jimenez from Atletico Madrid. There's long-standing interest there from Chelsea, but again, that could be costly. More affordable options, possibly looking at Maxence Lacroix, according to Wolfsburg. Again, this is all from the same article from The Athletic. Also Pau Torres, who was very impressive in the Europa League final. And also looking at Jules Koundé to be linked to many clubs, and a highly touted centre-back from Sevilla, but again could be anywhere in around 50 million euros, so possibly a little bit more affordable. It could be a very good addition. They still want Declan Rice, even after Lampard's gone. They still want Declan Rice, again of course very expensive for any potential transfer there. They're also looking at Aurélien Tchouameni from Monaco, very highly rated midfielder, who I actually watched yesterday in the under-21s Euros quarter-final. The Netherlands won there, very impressive France team though. They do want Gianluigi Donnarumma on a free transfer, but this is highly dependent on moving on Kepa Arrizabalaga, which again is unlikely. Kepa is on I think £180,000 a week, so in terms of how good he is and the amount of clubs who could even afford to pay that, very unlikely that they move them on. So Donnarumma probably not that likely. Okay, so finally moving on from Chelsea, again sticking with the Athletic, their writer Sam Lee says that they want Harry Kane and Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish was interested in a move to United last summer, according to Sam Lee, but now favours a move to Manchester City. Would Manchester City pay the fee that Aston Villa would want? I highly doubt it, because I don't think anyone thinks he's worth the amount of money that Aston Villa want from. Harry Kane could potentially be, though, but again, that would be a phenomenal transfer, unbelievable fees, so one to keep an eye on, but I don't know how likely it is. They also report that Aymeric Laporte, Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus are all unhappy with their roles. Potentially could use one of them in a swap deal, more likely with Tottenham. I think it's fairly unlikely that Aymeric Laporte is going to rock up at Villa Park next season, play alongside Tyrone Mings, but potentially could use one of those as a make-wish in a deal for Harry Kane. Also, I just thought I'd write this down. ESPN are reporting that they want to bring in Sergio Ramos. I'm not sure how reliable that is, how likely that would be, but I felt obliged to put that in. Again, sticking with the Athletic, but moving on to Arsenal, James McNicholas reports that Martin Odegaard is their number one target. Of course, he was on loan there last season and did okay, and apparently Arsenal really want to keep him on a permanent transfer. Again, this is very complicated by the fact that Real Madrid at the moment do not have a manager. So, a manager could come in and say that they really want Odegaard to stay, and that would render any deal very unlikely. The Daily Mirror have followed up on this, saying that it isn't going to happen, that Real Madrid want to keep him. Again, don't know how reliable Daily Mirror are really, but again, I thought I'd say that. Possibly a more realistic target is Norwich's Emi Buendia. They've been linked with him for a couple of years now. He's got very impressive numbers and is quite a good player to watch. Probably wouldn't be too expensive. I couldn't imagine it would be any more than maybe 20 million or something. So if I was Arsenal, I would definitely be looking to bring in Emi Buendia, and it seems that they are. They report that Hector Bellerin and Ainsley Maitland-Niles are likely to go. Hector Bellerin, that's quite an interesting one. I'm not sure who he'd go to. They report that Bernd Leno might want out, and as such, Arsenal are looking at options. Matty Ryan was on loan there last season, and he's available on a free transfer. But it's complicated because Arsenal would really prefer someone who's homegrown. Just to add to that homegrown rule, you have to have a minimum of, I think it's 7 or 8 players in your first team squad. So they would really like a homegrown player to be a goalkeeper, just to make things easier. And as such, they're looking at Freddie Woodman. He plays for Newcastle, but he's been on loan at Swansea this season. Has been very impressive. They didn't get promoted to the Premier League, so they probably won't pursue a permanent transfer. So 24-year-old Freddie Woodman could be a decent option as a backup goalkeeper. They were also looking at fellow playoff goalkeeper David Raya from Brentford. David Raya obviously got promoted with Brentford and will probably want to stay to play with them in the Premier League. That's first choice. They want Jules Koundé. I'm going to say it right now, that's not going to happen. Arsenal cannot afford his 50 or 60 million euro price tag. Possibly a more affordable option is Edmund Tapsoba. I think he plays for Burkina Faso, centre back for Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, could be an interesting one. Don't know too much about Tapsoba, I have to say. They're also looking at Yves Bissouma, the Brighton midfielder. Possibly a more affordable deal to some of the names I've mentioned. I personally don't really rate Yves Bissouma, but to each their own. Arsenal scouting department, I'm sure, know more than me. And then just going to finish, again, sticking with the Athletic. This is the first episode, so I'm going to use all the Athletic transfer rumours because they're the most reliable, or at least one of the most reliable. They're fairly prolific with their articles as well. So yeah, sticking with the Athletic and moving on to United very briefly. A move for Cristiano Ronaldo would definitely be entertained by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He would like to bring in his former teammate if the financials make sense. The transfer fee would not be too much. I think James Horncastle, again from The Athletic, reported that a fee of around 30 million euros could be enough because Juventus would just be happy to get his massive wages off their books, and United would probably be happy enough to take him on. Should United do this move? Will it happen? I don't know, we're just going to have to see. And again, maybe a more obvious one is that Jadon Sancho, again, according to The Athletic, Jadon Sancho wants to move to Manchester United above any other club. Dortmund basically want to sell. They said they're prepared to sell, but I wouldn't be surprised if at this stage they want to sell to bring in some money. And yeah, so Jadon Sancho to United really seems like a no-brainer. I'd be massively surprised if that doesn't happen at some stage this summer. But again, if he is getting any closer to a move to Old Trafford, you'll find out here on the Barstoolers YouTube channel. we'll have another transfer rumour update very soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you think about any of these rumours, and yeah, very much appreciated. We'll see you on the next video.